ladies and gentlemen here. We are about to start the first ever official rondo of Bgmi tournament happening right here, right now on your screen, on the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, take it away.
First time ever, Rondo is being played in the Showdown 2025 Grand Finals, and this is what we kick things off with. We've got a single plane flat pass starting all the way from the left side. Off guard. We've got majority of the teams dropping down south, but White Walkers, Mad Kings, it's a drop clash that instantly begins, and White Walkers, they're already losing out on a few players, but an instant trade does hit back as well.
It's just not two teams, Necro. There's also a third, Victor Sumas, on the sidelines. We can clearly see, but Mad Kings, after that early elimination of the players of White Walkers, but Aiku Soul against Orangutan are on an all-out brawl happening where Aru is already down, and even Joker, Legit grouping up. Atanki could be next on the card. More finishes, they've already got one. Maybe Legit could be next, but you can never let Legit out as Atanki. He's taken quite some smacking there, but Legit is pretty low, and AKOP gets the D done. Joker still waiting. He's got that third-party perspective for himself. But right now, Joker gets that S12K, will reload as OG look for an all-out brawl.
OG, all the players on top, and look at this drop. Atanki, he's not able to find the proper connection with Joker. He was only able to get one in return. And there's a bit of that trifecta of death going on between Mad Kings, White Walkers, and Victor Sumas.
Yeah, even Nakul is a little aloof, so he's going to get those recalls. So Team Soul might be back, but Victor Sumas trying to fight it out. It's going to be Ninse's spot down pretty low. Build the point, clutch card. He is AKM Connect. As now Vegito, Arjun together. Shadow a little aloof from his squad. As now Sam has got that grenade pinned out. And I cannot get the reason why he would drop a grenade like this, but Mad Kings, they've got different troubles going on because Clutch Card Pro both down on their feet, and it's all down to where Shadow and Apollo.
Sam gets absolutely wrecked, and unfortunately, he was not able to fight back. Victor Sumas, there's just one man standing, and that's going to be Mafia on top, and even Mafia is getting the confirmation. So look at this, Mad Kings squeezing that quick revival.
Yeah, Clutch Card Pro back into the scene, and now it's going to be interesting. How do Mad Kings retaliate back there? Little did they know that Cincinnati Kids was also nearby with this grenade drop down, and where GDR, they are focusing on the center. But this fight keeps on prolonging, and Arjun got a little off guard. It's going to be Pro from the backlines. He gets it knocked, and Apollo having that little flank angle as Shadow. I'm pretty sure this is again one of those games where, you know, teams can really decide to go big, as White Walkers avoiding one fight, suddenly land in another. This is a fight for the central control. It's against GDR. Flash down on his knees, and now Destro prepping that grenade up. Will of course throw in tandem with Delta. And Arthur is in a whole world of trouble. Surely goes kaboom, but still lives to fight. For now, Vegito, HP too low. Delta pushes in. He does secure that knock. It's going to be Neo and Arthur all by his lonesome to fend for himself. And now with that shotgun, he ran out of bullets. As a result of which, GDR capitalized, but the fight far from over as Team AX also pounce in.
That's the first squad elimination of Rondo. And you love to see it. AX with that third party, but are they really going to be successful? That's my question. Devotee and Henry, the boys to lead the pack, but even Vasista Esports, they're here with a quick third party. 3 players of Vasista, they're here to make that pounce, while that one man is all the way back towards the recall tower. And Vasista Esports, they just want to claim elimination points before they get eliminated from the game. And then they will have that one guy recall them back inside of the game. Scary Johnny was able to find one, instantly thirst the man as well to death. Justin, he's taken a lot of that damage upon himself, but Henry is right next to him. And Henry can definitely be the guy who can make a lot of difference.
Vasista Esports, they just have that one finish in their tally. 2 players dropping down as Aryan closing in. Scary Jord, he has to look out for himself as Henry, before that happens, shuts him down. Sahil OP down on his knees as Pro OP and Hector need to work this out together. Do not have the right set of loadouts. They're just on mere pistols, and Team AX, I'm pretty sure they're aware of this as they are closing in. There you go, another finish secured.
Adi was mentioning that they're going to go all guns blazing, but that's not the case so far. But here we go. Nebula on the hunt, and that's going to be X losing a crucial man.
Like piranhas in the ocean. As of now, Kratos readying up that grenade. Hector needs to be careful as Pro OP. He's got to fight it out this time, but fails as Phoenix lands that deadly blow. And Vasista Esports down to their final man, not anymore.
But Nebula Esports around the block, that can be a different thing as well. And now finally the players looking to make that pounce. They just want to eliminate this one last man of AX, and soon it will happen, as Cyrex is going to be the one to hit the deck as well.
Or are there any gatekeepers? We shall know as Victorasumus. They also started off with an early fight against Mad Kings. We had White Walkers also in the fray. And this time they've got a difficult foe to deal with. We know how notorious Nebula Esports can be as Mafia, just rattling down those bullets, trying to get some damage done. Nomi's got a different angle to play around, but Adi does not care. This is signature Adi as Phoenix. He gets the knock over there, but a little overwhelmed shall be Phoenix as Sam does find a different angle, takes him down, but he knows two players will be coming in for those trades, and completely outplayed he shall be as Adi, he finds the trade. As Kratos, a little aloof from his back. But some lonely straggler from the sidelines had to be Skips, right? I could see him over there. And even Aru out in the middle of nowhere. Mad Kings certainly are fighting back, Necro.
I'm not sure what he was doing there. But for OG, now the man's getting approached by Mad Kings in the front. Off the key. And then he realized the man's way too up close and personal. Even Cincinnati Kids now stepping inside of the playing field for OG. Things not looking too good and dandy.
Mysterious foe closing in on them. Levi under heavy fire. His HP brought too low. A hero cooking up that grenade alongside Omega. As Snowjawed, he finds the opener. Roman having a little bit of that flank angle, and Godex, he gets the knock as Mysterious foe fight it out tooth and nail against the likes of FS as Lovish just driving by, but it is going to be
the True Rippers. Now they're going to be like the Grim Reapers, claiming their souls and the elimination points. And as we know, the recall towers, they've been successfully disabled. Teams like Nebula Esports, they've had a fiery start to the game so far. And now Nebula, they're also going to make it up close and personal against AX. Devotee, the man, barely squeezes in that first aid, but eventually gets absolutely overwhelmed by Nebula Esports. And that's going to be it from AX.
This is preposterous, Necro. 11 finishes secured, not even a single casualty. And Phoenix, look at him. Look at him go. 7 finishes to his name as True Rippers. They are looking very aggressive in this one. They know they have the numbers of the players of Hero Extreme Godlike as Simp. He wants to tuck his tail and run, maybe lure the players out, but Jonathan, he is hiding beneath that rock. Here Lamau will find that knock onto it, Simp, but Johnny, his position still not concrete as Park, a little aloof as Jelly does take him down. Hero Extreme Godlike, they are falling down like flies.
Yeah, getting absolutely ripped in the fight. And now Jonathan's the only man surviving. And you've also got K9 Esports looking to third party this entire thing. True Rippers, they better make it quick. Jonathan was able to find the first frag, but that's also going to give a good setup to K9. They can easily come in and rush on towards the players of True Rippers, and that's what they exactly do. K9 from the top, raining down death and destruction, and it's the man Slug himself, and he gets the knockout as well. Confirmation instantly follows up, and True Rippers now surviving with just that one last man in the back. A lot of these teams do not even know how to play this map properly because they just do not really have enough time onto it. And because of that, all the strategies were chucked out of the window, and everyone was playing extremely aggressive. Nebula Esports as well, they contributed to the chaos, but a little bit late. And that was a big brain move from them. You've got True Rippers catching a lot of hurt upon themselves. Soul, they're the one to take those shots.
Trying to draw some attention as Nakul, he picks another fight. He picks a bone against the players of CK. Some instantly backing off, legit.
And Soul probably just wants to get the recovery as soon as possible, get the fallen comrades back up. The utility utilization from Slug, it's disgusting. It lands right on Mark, the second one as well, tossed towards that same spectrum, but it's not going to find the connection this time. K9 Esports, they're here to disrupt the flow for Soul. Another nade tossed, and this might just blow up Goblin's face, but instead, Goblin was still alive, but eventually gets knocked out from the back by the players of CK.
Instantly proning down. Some needs to buy some time, needs to make sure that his teammates get that flank angle, and there you go, kaboom, Zeref, he strikes, and now Aiku Soul is left with nobody but just Knuckle, their Batman.
Collecting those lonesome players, collecting those loose stragglers. We've also got 8-Bit making that pounce against FS Esports, and Roman gets claimed too easily.
Yeah, Raiden, he gets that confirmation as 8-Bit just trying to clean around the edges as Kratos, he did have an angle, and surely S-Power, he's out of commission in this particular game. As Nebula Esports, I'm loving the spread. I'm loving every bit of what Nebula are really cooking, especially Phoenix. How does this man sit with 7 finishes?
Yeah. Nebula utilizing the deployable covers too. They just want to play on the spread. They just want to play on the intel, and Nebula, it's been working out Phoenix, the man's out in the open. Does not really have a good spot to play around with, and Somraj realizes the Blues on the move, and this time it's going to do a lot of damage. Will be taking out chunks of HP, but that was a brilliant play from Somraj.
It's a pair of Slug, but Slug having that high ground advantage will capitalize. Kratos.
Even Cincinnati Kids, with a three-man squad, they can possess a lot of that threat. Nebula Esports, it's just Nomi in the backlines is surviving. He's got a bit of that dip to play with. But soon the Blues going to be on the move, and Nomi will need to leave the spot. What is he going to do then? What's the game plan then? He needs to take that fight against CK no matter what. And that's what he's exactly going to do. Almost threading that needle, almost finding the knock as well. But eventually Nomi gets eliminated by Slug.
I think it has to be Omega, right? Creating that off angle. That was the intention, but skips. He was a little fast on the trigger, but Slug quickly up for that trade. And suddenly Cincinnati Kids, they also find themselves in troubled waters.
There we go, the second man falls down as well. K9 Esports, solid stuff, they spring back to life. Skip's now the only man surviving in the final few moments. And Cincinnati Kids, they're panicking. Skip does not know what exactly to do in this situation. And K9, they probably do want to go for that reset, but the man was confirmed a while ago. And Skips, what a quick reflex that was. Giving 1v1s to the guys, not the way to go, but Ninja Boy! That nade was so well placed that it's gonna do the job. K9 Esports, they already kicked things off in an absolute banging manner, and this is what you expect from this banner.
It was by a true OG.
It's not what you expect from that banner, but look at Nebula Esports, already making that pounce against Basista, but Silopi, he was able to find those two quick frags, but it's completely fine. Nebula Esports, they will get the reset.
Yep, now the defense comes through. Scary Jaw tries to salvage the fight as well. He's going for a couple pre-fires, but after hitting those shots, he does have the UMP. He's going to secure those points, but at the same time, he gets pumped, got a little bit greedy, and Nebula Esports takes him out. Basista Esports will be able to trade evenly alongside with Nebula.
Players of Nebula Esports, they flopped that fight. But as of now, for Soul, out there going up against the players of Team AX. Team AX got out of one pickle, but then they found themselves in the other.
Wow.
And Soul, they're doing a perfect job in gatekeeping AX. Arya, the man, wants to make it out alive from this spot, and he's actually escaping that as well, but eventually gets caught. AX, what a big blunder this was. For OG, they got a second chance to life.
Yeah, great read coming from Seoul as well. As soon as they drop down, they realize that, hey, nobody's going towards Rozov. But surprisingly, there are teams on towards Watertown.
Oh my
But AX,
God.
they try to bail and dodge the fight from OG.
Cincinnati Kids, 0 finishes on the block. White Walkers,
Wow.
Flash gets finished off.
OG actually took for a long swing up north to actually secure vehicles and then come back towards the loot up. It's a little bit long distance here, but at the same time, OG, this is their home ground. They know how to fight, and guess what? They found a second pick as well as White Walkers gets completely dismantled. Arjun finds a knock, but here comes the cover fire.
Wow.
AKOP supports him down, and White Walkers down to one last player left. Top back to Rosa. Look at this, the interception. Tenki says, no hiding spot, no reds available. As Arthur now forced to commit to this fight now. As nades comes through, Tenki backs off a little bit.
Yeah, OG, they just want to claim the points, that's it. Not even let go of the one. Arthur has got 5 nades to play with, and Tenki, the man, needs to be a little bit careful. The nade, it's going to find a lot of damage, but Tenki's still safe. He's not knocked out yet. The remnants of OG, even they close up. Just one man from White Walkers. Can you really defend the ground? That's my question. And Arthur, soon there's going to be a lot of nades tossed through those windows. The man really can't do a lot. Now just trying to pull off these parkour moves. The nades extremely close. Arthur still standing alive, but the Molotov, the floor's lava. And now the man's going to be forced in the back lines as he's popping a first aid. A few more utilities being cooked up by OG. And now all the players, they pushing at the same time. Arthur just can't do anything. But if you look on the opposite side of the spectrum, K9 Esports, they get a few frags for themselves. And this time on the receiving side will be godlike.
But now the question here is, how do they push out? Because teams are circling to try and push in the zone. CK coming from the south side, Seraph pretty much stuck all by himself. Victor Summers circling around as well, as everybody is waiting for some team to start a fight. They're looking to drive past them and take space, or maybe even go for third party.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask what exactly happened to CK, but it's a fight between Mad Kings and CK, where Mad Kings, they managed to take down 3 players of Cincinnati Kids. And because of that, CK now, they're alive with just 1 player. A bit of an unfortunate start for CK, just 2 points secured.
you are going to be picked out for absolutely no value at all.
And this is probably one of the most standard circles out there, right? The moment we saw the zone center up around that school side, we knew it's going to be shifting around the open fields of school, and that's what's happening.
Wow.
But hold on to that thought. What a disgusting spray that was. Beast able to thread that needle, finding the first knock. And now the opponents that make the pounce, they're taken down to just a 3-man squad. But Beast, what was that shot? How does he even make it happen? But now Beast has already found himself isolated against the entirety of True Rippers. But luckily enough, he's already got the cavalry available. Teammates making it up close and personal as well. But Beast, he needs to try and fend off the foes. The entirety of K9 Esports collapsing on True Rippers. Even the Blues on the move, and this time it's going to take away chunks of HP. True Rippers is taking that revival. K9 Esports, they're on the run.
My goodness, they've done the damage, they've isolated the fight, and now Harsh wants the revenge. He was able to pick off Bees, but True Rippers, they get picked apart. Meanwhile, K9, they've realized the zone is getting closer. Can they go for the save? Ninja Boy picks up Bees on top of his trunk, but the zone is slowly ticking away. Can he go to the save? They push through, but it's so tricky. They do not have space. Mysterious Force caught them out in the open. The smokes is there. The knock comes in, and now, just like that, K9, they get completely dismantled, and only Slug remains here. What a blunder. What a
K9.
panic mode.
No escape option available, and because of that, K9 Esports did not exactly know where to back away. Oh, but he patches himself up instantly. Victoria Sumis, all the 4 players next to each other in 8-bit, they're too exposed. Also getting shot at from the back lines. They just can't do anything. Another team stepping inside of the playing field. It's also going to be God's Rain, who's constantly able to find the value and thread the needle. Has power up close and personal against VS. That's the knock successfully found, but he's not able to get the confirmation. Even the play zone dealing a lot of damage. K9 Esports, they're done for.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is huge for God's Rain. All they need to do is just zone everybody out, and they are going to be forced to take each other out. 8-bit now, choosing their fights wisely as well. They've got the additional on Victorious Summers, but at the same time, on top of the south side, Soul is also looking to try and third party to them if they try and overextend their push here. Seems like Victorious Summers, they are going to try and back out. A lot of names being coming in, but no, the confirmation from Justin. God's Rain is a god spot for a reason. But as soon as we say this here, let's take a look at the recaps here. How Mad Kings got completely dismantled. They were stuck into the shack, and the nade from FS was able to clean them out. 8-bit going for the slam was picked from Soul. But this nade coming from Justin to clean them all out was just phenomenal.
Crazy stuff indeed.
It's pretty much smoked as well. With the circle coming in, it favors OG to the north and also God's Rain from the south. So that means all they needed to do is sit on this cliff, fight for their dear lives, spray down anybody who tries to get close to them. And now Mysterious Fall, they get sprayed down a little bit too much, but now AKOP, he overextended, he got pushed, and here comes Mysterious Fall. They go in for the slam. Wiz got taken down. Aru caught out in the open, and only Artenki remains. He's able to defend, but the mistakes has been made. Mysterious Fall has chipped them down low, and now Omega from the side of Mysterious Fall, left stranded out in the open, and Artenki goes for the spray. He gets Omega, but it remains, and that's the timing that Godlike has been looking for as they go in for the stamp. They pick him up, and just like that, OG will fall. Same can be said for Mysterious Fall as Godlike gobbles them all up.
12 finishes on. Now for Godlike, even their veterans, they need to step up big. Soul, they're out in the open. Joker, not really the best of the spots, but this man, he needs to go back to the same form he had yesterday. But instead, Joker gets knocked. It's not a good news for Soul.
Not towards Godlike at all.
FS Esports constantly tossing the utilities in the search of finding at least one knock. But FS, they're done playing it passive. Now it's time to make it up close and personal. But Admino, what a shot that was. Lightning fast reaction from the guy. And now Godlike with a 3-man squad dominating FS Esports out of the game.
Beaten by the zone, barely at the edge as well. It seems like Jonathan won't be able to scout things out. There's going to be one down. Joker is out. And the next will be Goblin. More smokes are being joined out as well. The Buggy, pretty much a dead giveaway for Goblin. Tires popped off. They're trying to shoot through the cracks. Goblin gets tagged up. He's dodging every single bullet, but he will eventually fall. Hero Extreme Godlike continues the pummel, but Goblin now needs to go in for the reset. But 8-bit from the outside, they push out for a swing, dodging the fight against God's Rain, as they are going to be crashing once Goblin as well. But no connection so far, but Goblin might be able to spoil things here. Now the nade comes in, Equinox gets tagged up, but no knocks yet. When Goblin, he almost got chipped away, but a small pixel was spotted by a Minnow, and he is out. And Minnow a little bit afraid to push out, not knowing exactly what God's Rain is doing, but seems like they are on the cliff. He spots out Neo. Nade comes in, and Minnow, does he get the connection? It looks good. That's the first tag. Jonathan goes for the tandem nade, and that's going to be the knock on Neo. God's Rain, full defense, full back off as well. But Hero Shape got like they're a little bit afraid to commit to this fight. The third nade comes in, tags on Neo, but no confirmation here. But as soon as all those nade trails was spotted out, look at 8-Bit. They are going to try and take him out. That's going to be Hero Shape God like losing out on that Minnow. As 8-Bit finds the perfect timing to third party them.
8-Bit. They know Godlike is messed up big time. Admiros was out in the open right behind that airdrop. The man got caught off guard. And now look at Raiden just flanking Godlike. He's pushing so deep, but he's also quite exposed to a lot of threat. And look at God's Rain slowly and steadily gaining ground and gaining confidence in the fight. Jonathan still trying to play around that dip that he's got, but that Riches Dew is soon going to be covered up as well.
Nade.
Jonathan's utility, it's on point, and 8-Bit, they're getting absolutely fiddled with. Another nade tossed out towards that same ground, and it's going to do the job. 8-Bit wrapped up in a sheet by Jonathan.
He was picked up. He's able to use up his nades as well. He is going to try and deny God's Rain, but there's no one in the smokes. They are getting pushed out as well, but Delta tries to drive around, try to get a little bit of formation. Destro picks out. Here comes the trade, and Hero Shape God like gets taken out, but God's Rain will be able to take the chicken dinner. Not a lot of finisher points, but a lot of the winner chicken dinner in their hands though.
Comfortable to take those fights, but alright, 19 points. What was the difference between the start? It was 14. 5-point advantage for OG.
Still.
They increased the lead, man. But the pressure is going to be there from the back hills because now only True Rippers and AX are going to be there with man advantage. Nebula Esports, it's just Adi surviving. Basista Esports, there's 2 players left, but they can't really do much. And Cincinnati Kids are also in this match, but they're down to the last man.
And soon being surrounded by too many foes. Not a lot of places where they can find themselves in the safer shoes, but as you move on towards True Rippers, they're looking extremely good. All the 4 players still standing, not a lot of elimination points to contribute, but True Rippers is aiming for the big thing, and that's going to be the chicken itself. Nades from Devotee, putting in a lot of work. And what just happened there? He also gets the confirmation. Wait, was that a team nade?
Then again, that's like pretty much their entire journey in the grand finals. Still on the dead last.
All right, Johnny rubbing salt on top of the wounds.
I think they're out of salt at this point.
Yeah, true that, but for AX, it feels like even they're going to be out of commission soon if they keep on playing like this.
I think True Rippers right now is assuming it's a 4v4, and AX are going to be the ones assuming with the right assumption that there is one more player from some other team, because there's just 3 of us. We see a 4-man roster. That means 1 extra player surviving somewhere in the map. And hence we see them run for that concrete cover as well, but this allows True Rippers to fight close quarters.
He's really desperate for points. He's looking for the chicken dinner as well, but he's the only person standing from his team. True Rippers, 4 players next to each other, and now they're going to try to make that pounce against AX. Cyrax a little bit too far away from the fray. Man needs to close on up. True Rippers. There we go. The first man getting caught off guard, and that's going to be Adi revealing his position. Now the fight's taken down to a 3-on-3-on-1. But at least the grounds are now even Steven for Team AX, and they got to thank Adi for that. But Devotee, if you over-peak that angle, Adi will shut you down as well instantly. Team Orient, they just need to be a little bit more careful and not overcommit.
A lot of missed nades from Devotee as well over there. He's trying to see if he can take out Jelly. And this one's going to be a little bit close, but just a little bit of splash damage onto Harsh. Jelly still unharmed, and at this point you have to try your level best to find that util without committing into a fight. But Devotee, he finishes off Adi. Could have almost been taken out over there as well. Adi was the one found the shot connection first, but Devotee, you can see him shaking his hands. They've started to jitter, but Cyrax with the flank, opening things up, and True Rippers. Kyo Lamau is going to be the first man to fall. It's a 2 versus 3 with AX having the upper hand.
Those shots extremely deadly, penetrating through the flesh. And AX now having the man advantage as they want to squeeze in a few more elimination points. AX played this so well. Coordination seems on point. They should have played the same way the day 1 and the day 2. And maybe they would have been in the running for the trophy as well. But as of now for AX, they just want to claim this chicken dinner, and it's going to be a massive 1-2 as they shut down Hirsch as well. And now up close, it will be AX coming out on top. What a way to kick things off in the game one itself.
Use that grenade, but S-Power, he connects. And 8-Bit, they finally got that opener. They want to secure that finish, and even GDR would be eyeing on that finish. Every point so valuable. Beast getting it home for their team, but Flash still the final player alive. Not anymore. 8-Bit also having that man advantage. Beast, he's been spotted, and Silo B needs to be acting on his triggers.
Yeah.
Smokes deployed every which way. As Neo trying to close in from the edges, he knows Silo B's there, will try to run him over. That's a nice finish, but 8-Bit, Beast, he secures that opener onto its Neo and GDR. Finally, piece by piece, they are getting devoured to the point where 8-Bit, they also mark their comeback and suddenly find themselves in a race where they could be hopeful for the podium. Again, taking advantage of those higher grounds, and this Molotov could prove quite fatal. As Ninja Boy lobs one of his own, Victor Sumas trying to close in, Omega against the world, trying to get that revive, but K9, all those murky smoke, trying to obscure the vision, but Sam, out of nowhere, gets another knock onto with Ninja Boy. Omega still fighting tooth and nail, Slug needs to patch himself up, Knuckle with that full set grenade, could prove quite devastating. Slug somehow survives, but for K9, Ninja Boy, he is eliminated, but now Victor Sumas trying to close in, and even for Beast, he's gonna come out of that smoke, instantly gets devoured, and now Slug, the last member surviving, Mafia knows he's got his number, still gets down Knuckle, and even K9, they bow out.
It's pretty much guaranteed for them, but True Rippers, Hydro, do they farm for this point or do they go for the denial? Sam 99, he goes in for the drop, he tries the attempt, he gave away a point for Mad Kings here. As you can see, the green is good, the nades are coming in, but it seems like the circle doesn't push up. They have to drop down. Mad Kings got center instead.
Hydro refusing to bow down, walking on the flames, does not want to jitter. Nothing stopping True Rippers, but Mad Kings, they know Apollo and his MG3, they have been quite fatal so far. But seems like Hydro's got visuals on Pro. He strikes, and Apollo could be next. And no, he denies that luxury to True Rippers. As now, Victor Sumas, 3 players alive. 1 on 3, 1 low toss grenade should be enough.
Oh, the nade looks good. They drop down, they lose Mafia. Apollo's got the bullets to work with as well. The two guys, they need to go for the nosedive. Ninsei goes in for a snipe. He misses the shot. Apollo takes him out, and he secures the chicken dinner, denying it away from Victorious Summers. Mad King somehow was able to predict the circle and clutch this big chicken dinner.
And just focus on racking up those finish numbers, man. That is all they need. Soul has been eliminated. OG got taken out early. And now Victorious Summers, they get backstabbed. Nomi from the flank gets aggressive. Nebula Esports at a point where they just need to stay back. They just push forward. They're picking off VS. And now K9 is going to be next in tow. Slug hides inside the smoke, trying to stay alive, but Nomi still finds the knock. And now this vehicle, as it goes in and out of the smoke, K9 Esports are desperate for that trade, but it is not going to come their way. 3 teams, 11 players alive.
Got FS, they have been laying low from the north. But here comes the nade, the setup is there, and it's gotta be perfect. Oh, the bounce comes through, almost knocking his way as well, and he's gonna try and make a mad dash for it. Omega gets knocked. Adi, how did he connect those nades? And now K9, they've lost too. Nebula gonna try and double down on this, but Adi got knocked from afar because finally FS shows themselves and they are gonna join this fight.
Yeah, the third party from FS is going to be brutal. Beast, he's trying his level best, needs to find the opener instantly, and well, he almost does as well. But Godex, the distraction, is this going to be enough? Godex gets finished off. They can bring Omega back. Almost getting the revive. And the high ground is going to be theirs as well, but Nebula still having 3 players. A big sign of concern. Lovish knocked out in the distance as Levi becomes the last man for FS.
Of course, FS, they may have spoiled a little bit of FS's and K9 and Nebula's positions here, but as of yet, points, like you said, stolen away, which again, K9 needs all these points to stand a chance. Compete with the top 2. In this case, that is going to be So and OG. Omega getting kicked off from Levi here. FS stepping up big time. Levi, what a day to be alive. Solo Warrior tries to go for cover jab, but the points, Omega, stolen by Nebula once more, and now K9 leaving only Ninja Boy and Beast down towards the final clip. But Kratos gets the knock in onto his Beast, and now Ninja Boy last man standing.
Beast, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to survive over here. Look at that, the nade being cooked towards the left. They know exactly where he is. The nade goes out, and I believe, just a sliver of HP remaining. The second one should get the job done. Nebula Esports, what a brilliant comeback initiated in this last wrangle of Showdown. 8 eliminations to their name. A chicken dinner as well will make that 9 eliminations. This nade, yeah, there we go. 19 points for Nebula Esports, really overcommitting. And of course, it's going to be the footsteps of Godlike that are also stopping the players of K9 and Jonathan. Finish point stolen. K9 Esports still kept in check. But while all of this was going on, Cincinnati Kids versus OG, that was also another big fight. But OG have somehow figured out how to survive. They picked off 2 from the side of CK.
Yeah, but soon K9's gonna initiate that fight against Godlike. Because now K9 knows the back's against the wall anyways. You can jump down, take that fight against Godlike. Look at this nade from Ninja Boy. This is insane, and he actually finds the connection too. Confidence through the roof. It's in Cloud9, and Godlike still trying to fight back, but it's not gonna matter. As K9 Esports, their brute strength, it's more than enough to manhandle Godlike.
Yeah, but Ninja Boy knocked out. Beast pushing up front to draw or maybe keep away the pressure. Slug knocked out. A desperate last-ditch effort from K9, and they are starting to fall down like flies.
Oh no.
OG, this is their opportunity to secure the first position once again. Omega, oh my goodness, just one shot to his body or maybe even the legs and he would have been knocked out. But OG now know that K9 are going to be left bleeding, although they have their own problems in the form of CK being present right on top of their heads. And at stage 9, the blue collapse, everything will conclude with this. K9 are going to be number 1, or OG takes away the spot. Those utils towards Mad Kings and AX can actually help them out.
OG needs to leave that comfort zone. Aryan against Mad Kings, Apollo barely surviving. And Devotee, he's really gonna make that push, but it's not gonna matter. Mad Kings, they come out on top, but as we move on towards K9 versus OG, both these teams forced out of their comfort zone. OG having a bit of that man advantage, and that's really helping him inside of the fight. Especially when we thought OG's fizzling away from the overall standings. They strike back when the game was needed the most. But even K9 Esports, they're not too far back. K9, even if they get in the top 2, that's going to mean quite a lot. But Omega has been eliminated. K9, they get eliminated in the top 3. It's OG's game to lose. If they lose out of this game against Mad Kings, it will be disheartening. But there we go. Mad Kings, they're doing a good job, at least getting those knocks, but it's just one man standing. He can't really do a lot. And this one player is doing a lot of damage, but OG, they still get the game, no matter what.
Nicely done from Mad Kings. They will hold on for the top 8. But as of yet, like you said, things to be shaken up to try and kick down Nebula here solely depends on 8-Bit and Victorious Summers' performance. But even then, the chances are pretty slim. And like you said as well, our top 8, as time goes by, pretty much secured on which 8 teams is going to be representing India.
Through that, White Walkers, it's Vegito going for that revival. Flash as well is right there. But Arjun should be back upon his feet soon. It's not a concern. Mysterious 4 still around the block. They've already got 6 finish points. And I guess M4, they've done it. I think so the cutoff is going to be around 107 or 108 points. I don't think it's going to rise more than that. 8-Bit is still in contention. You've also got Mad King still alive, White Walkers. I'm not sure if it's still possible for them to qualify, but they need a chicken dinner with all the elimination points claimed.
Zay now outside the zone, gonna go for the push as well. He gets taken down. The race for Victorious Summers is over, and White Walker is getting completely pummeled out in the open. And even then, they go down. Mysterious 4 holds on. Ladies and gentlemen, your top 8 pretty much dwindling there, and the only team left that is in contention for the top 8 is gonna be 8-Bit, Raiden, and New Equinox. They need all these points. They need this chicken dinner if they want a chance for the top 8. It is tough, but it is about to end right now, officially, for the BMSD 2025 Grand Finals itself. But for all things considered, OG, your champions, waiting to be crowned as the new kings of BGMI.
And also, they will be the Team India. They will be the one to represent India in the Global Championship. And I feel like it's deserved. Mysterious 4 now on the verge of taking down 8-Bit. This fight, it's getting a bit too close. The Molotov. 8-Bit, can they really stand that fire? Snowjawed, the Blues on the move. Backs against the wall. He's waiting for the flames to extinguish, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case. But it's not going to matter. Still pushes. And 8-Bit, they've been eliminated. Even they're not going to move up. Nebula, Mysterious 4, they barely qualify on the edge. As I mentioned, they've done it. Nebula and Mysterious 4, they will be in the top 8, qualifying directly to the International Cup. What a play it's been for all the top 8 teams. And now in the final few moments, Nebula is on the verge of clinching this victory. Mysterious 4, they might just not stand a chance. Just one man in the front, now getting absolutely toyed with. As Nebula Esports, they claim that chicken dinner.
What a day it has been, but without further ado, Nebula, they are part of the top 8. But without further ado, OG has finally done it.
Yeah, the champions of BGMI Showdown 2025. It is the cue.
OG!
But anyways, let's have a look at the overall leaderboard, the scorecard for all of these 16 teams playing the grand finale. And as we keep talking about it, 5 points the difference between OG and K9 Esports. Then you have Soul finishing 3rd, True Rippers on the 4th, Nebula Esports 5th, God's Reign on the 6th, Mysterious 4 on the 7th, and by the skin of their teeth, Mad Kings also survive in the top 8. These 8 names will move forward, and of course, that is going to be Team India in the BMIC.